Previously on Keeping Up with the Colonists. Our colonial forces were once again defeated by the British at the Fort Ticonderoga.
What are your thoughts on the battle?
We didn't do so hot. We didn't do as well as we thought we would have done, but
yeah, they lost.
No, the colonists are not discouraged. Listen, we are coming back and we are winning this war. Start with you.
Now, let's see what the British antagonists are up to at the Battle of Saratoga.
General Howe, I was thinking maybe we could go down to Albany, pop a couple caps in the heads, and isolate the New England colonists from the southern ones.
Sounds like a plan. I think we'll succeed.
As do I. Maybe I could move south from Canada, and you could move north from New York.
That sounds very good.
Excellent.
However, Howe diverged from the plan and went off on his own path to Philadelphia, instead of meeting with the rest of the British troops in Albany.
So, why didn't you go with the original plan?
Well, I did start from New York City. I was going to go to Albany, but Philadelphia really looked like it was better to capture because it was easier to take it than New York City. So I decided to move back and not assist Burgoyne. So I kind of lied, but we did take over Philadelphia. So that's more.
How do you feel about Howe not showing up?
Yeah, you could say I'm pretty mad, pretty skeeved about it. Don't really know why he did it. Really sucked. Could have had an extra couple hundred people coming in, so definitely hurt us a little, I'd say.
You don't.
Once Howe captured Philadelphia, however, he was encircled by George Washington and his armies and was stopped from leaving.
You're not leaving Philadelphia.
Okay, I got it. That's good. That's all good.
The British troops are coming.
Not the British troops.
Yes, the British troops.
Where to?
Albany.
Once they received word of the impending British attack, the colonists readied themselves for war.
If I put these giant logs down in the way of the Hudson River, they won't be able to come through.
Here is one colonial leader disrupting the path that the British were to take by chopping down logs and putting them in the way. This is just one of the many ways the British were deterred by the colonists on their way to the Battle of Saratoga. The journey down the Hudson River was really killing the vibes of the British. They were losing men everywhere, from those killed while in search of rations, to those dropping like flies from the colonial forces pushing in on them. Finally, in defeated desperation, John Burgoyne decided to take his men through an opening, Freeman's Farm.
Where are the British?
As you can see here, the colonists and the British alike were super good at fighting. At the end of this battle, the British had officially won, but they lost 2 men for every 1 American man killed. Following this battle, British supplies and numbers were critically low.
This is all we have to keep us warm.
By this point, the British had no new friends and no new supplies. None of their support came in, and things were looking grim. After one last desperate fight, Burgoyne was backed into a surrender to the Americans. What does this victory mean for the colonists? Well, it showed America and other foreign nations that they had a chance in defeating the British. And that's all for this week's episode of Keeping Up with the Colonists.
Tough route to Philadelphia. Here we are. And he made it.
Okay, whatever.
The British troops are coming to Albany.